to share the space with you tonight. The show is called In the End, We Are All Stories. It's a collection of work that pulls from my memory, my childhood, some losses, and my imagination. But at its core, it's all about the stories that we carry and the ones that we piece together. So now it's a little story. The idea for the show came from something deeply personal. A few years ago, I ordered a DNA Ancestry.com kit, and I wanted to finally find out who my biological father was and a little bit more about myself. I didn't know until I was 30 that I even had a different father than my sisters. And out of respect for my mom, who didn't want to talk about it, we just don't talk about things in my family, I never really looked into it or asked any more questions until a couple years ago. For my kids' sake and for my own curiosity, I just went ahead and ordered the test. When I got the results, it was interesting. I was intrigued. I read everything on there. I read all the traits. I read all the different cousins that I found, but it wasn't groundbreaking. No one was listed as my father, but there were a slew of first and second cousins, and only two main cities that all my ancestors lived in. One set was in Ireland, and the other one was in Detroit, Michigan. After several months, I just set it aside. I didn't really think about it for a while. And after several months, a lady reached out to me to find out why I popped up on her family tree. Who are you? She was very curious because she's the self-proclaimed family historian, and she just didn't know where I came from. All of a sudden, I'm a first cousin, and just a lot of relatives that were the same. She turned out to be my first cousin, and we ended up filling in a lot of blanks through the stories and things. Wow. So great news, I have a sister, and sad news, our father passed away, but he passed away the exact month and year that I ordered the test, which was just a huge shock to me. I was able to find his obituary. I talked to my sister, she sent her photos. I studied all the fragments of a man I'll never meet. And that was the moment of realizing a whole chapter of someone else's life had closed just when I was starting to open the book. And that stayed with me. So I've been an artist for over 20 years. I'm a full-time artist, that's what I do. But I make art and I teach art. But my work kind of shifted and I became more myself, I think, after finding that out, because I realized that the things that I love, the things that are important to me, might as well share that. We only have one story. We only have one chance. So, let's see. So you'll see framed paper dolls. They're childlike, they're nostalgic, but they're fragile because they're just paper. And they're a nod to the kind of imaginative play that builds our earliest stories. And then all the tapestry animals, woodland creatures made of fabric and paper. They represent the quiet, instinctive parts of ourselves, and they're witnesses to our lives and hold secrets, just like we all do, and my family does very well. This is going to be my only chance to do this, so I am going to read a piece of my father's obituary. I have this on my wall because I want to know his story, I want to know more about him, but I'm not going to read the whole thing. His name was Matthew Emmett Brady, and Matt was not only a loving husband, but a devoted father to his daughter Maggie. He didn't know about me. He had no idea. My mom never said anything. She just kept it a secret. So he didn't know I existed. He leaves behind a legacy of love, guidance, and warmth for his many nieces, nephews, and cousins. He's a proud veteran of the United States Army. Matt served as a medic during the Vietnam War. His unwavering dedication and courage earned him 3 Purple Hearts and 2 Bronze Stars for his exceptional service in protecting his country and its citizens. Matt was equally dedicated to his personal journey of sobriety. He proudly celebrated 30 years. His passion for helping others on their path to recovery was evident when he touched countless lives, offering hope to those struggling with addiction. He is credited with saving innumerable amounts of individuals and helping many start anew. He was a caring and gentle soul. Matt was known for his respectful and nurturing nature. His life was woven with his love for the restaurant industry, which began in his youth at his father's establishment, Dining Jim Brady's. Matt worked tirelessly to rise to the ownership of his own restaurants, becoming a prolific restaurateur of Metro Detroit. His legacy was marked by the warm dining experience, incredible ease, and the generosity of his hearts. His establishments were also known for their dedication to local animal shelters, raising funds and supplies for the welfare of cats and dogs. I love that. Matt was also an avid book enthusiast and art and sports fan. Same. His profound faith in God was unwavering, evident in his daily attendance to Mass and his long-standing membership at St. Michael's Church of the Transfiguration. And at the end, it just says, as we remember this great man, let us cherish the memory of Matthew Emmett Grady, a man whose life was marked by compassion, service, and the love he generously shared with his family, friends, and community he held dear. He will be profoundly missed and forever remembered. Thank you for listening. Wow. I never read that out loud, so here, and there he is. This is not a funeral, but this is very special to me.
Yeah. Wow. So you're older than Maggie?
I'm much older than Maggie. Yeah, she's only 32, so she's as old. She's
as old as your girls.
She's as old as my son and as old as my youngest sister. Because my sister and I are both 22. We're 22 years apart.
Wow.
And she's as old as my youngest sister.
So does your mom know that you know now?
Yeah, I kept it from a secret for a while. But then I just had to ask, because he's one of 6 brothers, and I was not sure. Because all of them were listed as first cousins, and I just had to ask her. So my dad's been, I've been taking care of my dad a lot. He had a stroke a couple years ago too. So I've been spending a lot of time on my mom's, and I just kind of brought it up. I'm like, so was it Matthew or was it this? And she goes, yes, it was Matthew. It's just very dismissive and
wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
So she doesn't want to hear it. So I wanted to post a lot of this online, of about the show and the story, but I'm just trying to be really respectful to her. And she doesn't want to.
Jeez, oh man.
Did she tell you stories are different tales?
What's that?
Her story's different.
Her story is different. That's exactly it. Yeah. Because he was not. Obviously, he wasn't alcoholic before that. They met at his father's bar. He was the wild child's son, and that's when they met, and it was just a whole different story.
Yep.
So, yeah. But Maggie's mom was on the phone, was in the background when I was texting Maggie back and forth, and she didn't believe me. She didn't believe that I was actually a sister. She thought I was a scammer or something. I don't know why. And, but then when she said, well, where did he meet? Where did he meet her mother? And I said, at the bar, Diamond Jim Ray's, and she goes, okay, well, that's why I met him too. Okay. So it's just kind of funny.
Wow.
Okay. Did you know paper towel or something? I love that. I really do.
Wow. So did you meet Maggie?
I haven't yet. I was really disappointed. She moved to Boston. She lives in Boston, which is not a place I go. I go all over the place, I've never been to Boston. So. So I have to take a trip to Boston, yeah.
How long have you known this?
He died in October 23. So I've only known since last year. Yeah, it was last year that I found out. I didn't find Maggie until, I don't know, just probably 8 months ago. So.
Wait, you were 30 when you realized that you were not?
Yeah, I was having health issues, and I called my mom just hey, can I get the, the family history of how, grandpa and all these people, and she's like, well, and I was walking the kids, I had little kids, I'm in the stroller, I was on my phone with my mom, and she's like, you might want to sit down. And I was like, I can't, Mom, what's up? she's like, your dad's not your dad, and then it's just like,
Oh, you always thought that he was your dad?
yeah, I didn't know. The only thing that was, all my sisters are blonde, and I'm very much not blonde. So we're just, we don't look that much alike. We look, a little bit. I look more like my mom, obviously, but it's just funny. Yeah. It's just
wow.
Yeah. So that was that. Yeah, and the other thing was just nobody really knows your whole story. We're all just walking stories, and that's just something that's been hit me deeply. I can know a lot about you. I've known you for a long time, but only snippets. Mm-hmm. We only see tiny bits of each other's lives. We never know deeply anybody really.
And that's just true. Yeah.
You just have the cliff notes, but even those are unreliable. I'm just we
don't. And you have what people want you to know.
Exactly.
Right.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I was in office. I worked in an office for 40 years. Well, I worked right out of high school.
Yeah.
Well, at 58, I found myself unemployed. They sold the company and the new people already had somebody at 58. I found myself, oh my God, what am I gonna do? I'm too young for, you know, Social Security.
Yeah.
You have to reinvent yourself, you know,
Yeah.
so my people now don't know my
Oh,
old
right.
person, you know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah, I only know pieces of you. I know you're the Mary, the fairy godmother. Yes.
Still,
The
yeah.
fairy godmother.
Fairy
Tower City.
I was a fairy godmother. Yeah, that stopped in 2020.
We've known each other for 31 years, but
Yeah.
we haven't known each other and been in contact
Right.
for 31 years.
Right.
So it's like I'm meeting a different Shannon that I met
Oh, yeah,
31
for sure.
years ago.
For sure.
Hopefully I'm a little different too.
Yeah.
That's just interesting. So that's why I wanted to do the stories and the circles, and we were all just, even strangers write on our lives. Like even people that pass judgment on you or say something online, or it's just, it sticks with you, and it's like, so they have a pen in our story too, which is not great, but
Yeah.
kind of everywhere.
Did you realize that all your pieces that are here were telling the story all together before you thought about this show?
Oh, no, I knew about the show for about a year, so.
Like,
Yeah.
but as you work, like, do you see the interconnectedness of the paper to the fiber?
I
to
do,
the-
yeah, I do, it's because it's a piece
Yeah.
of me, and I'm just like, these are the things I like, these are the things that are, and I was nervous to bring it all and hang it because it was so different. Like, I have paintings, I have this, I have sculptures, but they're all me, and they're all just stories, so. Yeah.
What a
These
story.
are all so pretty, they're all pretty.
I guess it's still a little wet.
Yeah. And you can put, I don't know if it would take it all the way off, but you can put it, you can like put a paper towel over it, just to give it different, you don't want to take it all the way out. Oh,
Yeah,
right
it
there,
was,
yeah.
like, there's like, I don't know, there's something on the canvas, it took it different at the
There
very
you go,
end.
yeah.